Hey everybody. I think some people misinterpreted what I was saying yesterday. It's going to be next Wednesday that I'm starting, but it seems like a lot of people got really fired up over that, so that's really awesome. And we all know there are projects that take longer than a week, or 5 days in my case, that I'll be working on them. So, and a number of people, I get home at 3 in the morning. A number of people sent video links to me. I was tired out of my mind. So I try and look at them when I can, but I mean, I was just beat, so I just approved them because I wanted them up. Because as you know, somebody's awake at any given time around the world, and you guys would be surprised how much stuff I get from, say, over in England, and other parts of the world, Australia, etc. So I didn't want to have other people wait, so just so I could see them, so I just uploaded them. And if people are getting started on projects and they want to use me as a link to get their work out to the rest of the community, I'll be happy to approve them, no problem. Like I said, this is all about getting inspired and showing off our stuff. Not even so much for ourselves, but to feed into this larger gestalt consciousness that is gaming. So let's I'm happy to do my part. One of the things that warms my heart is hearing, people have sent me emails and stuff saying, you know what, you did something on Eldar, you did something on Tyranids or Necrons or whatever, and it inspired me to go and open up a box with my old army in there and paint them. I mean, I love that. That means that I'm having a positive effect in somebody's life. That's what it's all about. So if you've got a project you're working on, feel free to use me as a springboard. Always happy to help. And I was thinking about topics. God, I'm 250, almost 3 minutes in, and I haven't even told you what my topic was. Painting all these guys, I have no Starship Troopers painted for this, and to biting off a chunk of 50 is a lot. Somebody said they do groups of like 10, and I think that's really brilliant, that's really smart, and more of us should think like that person. But I just, like I said, I have a bad habit. I follow my inspiration. If my inspiration is grab 50, I grab 50. So, but yeah, try that out. That's a really good method. I'm willing to bet. So, the problem is I don't have the opposing troops for this. I thought, I've got all these Star Wars minis. Why don't I do something like, say, my army of stormtroopers in Star Wars minis decides to clear out a cave for an underground base. They gotta kick some Tyranids out or something along those lines. Then I can use my big map that I just got. I can build some cave walls. It'll inspire me to build some cave walls. It'll inspire me to get my army done. And I don't gotta go all the way. I don't gotta get a bunch of troopers and use what you got. There was an old game system whose motto was use what you have. Chipco, I think, was the name of the company. It was a fantasy 15mm game. It was actually a really good system. They would use an 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch base, and they would run like these big battles for fantasy. And fantasy is what really got me into the whole genre, even though definitely 40K seems to be the dominant force here on YouTube as far as miniatures and tabletop are concerned. But it warms my heart to see a lot of people in other game systems, you know, how do I say this? You know, using something besides 40K in their game systems, or using other miniatures to do 40K. I heard of that, so both of those are really cool. Definitely something to think about if you haven't tried it. I mean, I know there's a lot of Star Wars types out there, and if you're like me, you may have 100 stormtroopers sitting on. Well, 100 points or 100 troops can easily be built into a force. I mean, especially if we're talking like Space Marines or something. 100 Space Marines is a lot of freaking Space Marines. And you could pick any group set. You can use Imperial Guard. You can use Space Marine. You could, heck, give them the I don't know, call them robots and play them like Necrons, you know? So, there's all sorts of things available. I saw the coolest video where someone took the game video images for Battlestar Galactica and Star Wars and did a whole combat scene of Battlestar Galactica versus the Empire. Matter of fact, if you check it here on YouTube, it's either Battlestar Galactica versus Empire or vice versa. It is really, really, really cool. So that also kind of fits into. That's actually what gave me the idea for the topic for today. Is using different figures from different systems and utilizing them. Another thing is, you know, how about house rules out there? Anybody out there make their own house rules for, you know, different armies? Or something to bridge the gap? I mean, I'm sure somebody must have done this, but, I mean, who hasn't thought of a 40K army landing on a undeveloped planet and using a fantasy army versus it? You know, it's easy for me to, you know, see like a Lizardmen army being invaded by Imperial Guard or Eldar, or, you know, how about old orcs versus new orcs? They're gonna bash some orcs' heads in that are only in the Stone Age, and they're gonna take the survivors and teach them how to use bolters, but they first gotta give them a good kicking. You know, there's all sorts of ways you can do this. So if you've ever mixed up, say, Warhammer Fantasy and 40K and played a game, tell us about it. Jump down in the comments, say, hey, you know, we had to modify this, and this rule, but, you know, it worked great, or it worked sucky, or, you know, this is what we think we need to do to balance the two combat systems out. You know, it's all about creativity, guys. It's not just creativity in terrain or conversions. It's every single element. And the sooner you make that realization, the more fun your gaming experience is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So, who would have thought I had done this for 3 days straight? But, yeah, I'm almost done with all my bottoms, all my tops. Like I said, it's going to be about 50 troops. And, you know, and build on your successes. If, you know, if this really does work out for me, you know, it gives you that extra oomph to jump on the next thing. There's a lot of you guys out there that, you know, this is your main pastime. And, you know, depending on where you, how do I say this? You know, a lot of us like to play, but we don't like to do the work that goes into the playing. You know, anything you can do that gets the work going, so your play is even better. By God, follow it. You know, so that's the concept for today. And I'm not really good at this rambling stuff. If you guys have ideas for really good topics, throw them down in the comments section. You know, maybe we'll jump on them and start discussing them. So, take care, guys, and have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.